When I get on set, I usually find out who the first and second is. We discuss how they're going to deliver the data to me, how I'm going to deliver it back to them, whether they want the cards erased, whether they want to have tape over it to make sure that they know. And then I ask them always never to fill the card more than 50%, even at the beginning of the day. Because although there's a lot more changing of cards, there's a lot less like large data dumps that I need to do. So at the end of the day, as that starts picking up, because at the end of the day, they always try to crunch more work in because they realize, well, we have a couple more shots and we don't have the time for it, so we need to just keep shooting and shooting and shooting. If you have that rapport with your AC, they'll keep a card on them, switch it out really quick, and then bring it to you so that you don't have those huge data dumps at the end of the day.
I'll try to reach out to the first AC before we start. I'll try to reach out to the director of photography so that I know how the first AC likes to work, how the DP likes to work, if I haven't already worked with them before, and so that I'm more prepared and we just know what to expect when on our first shoot day.
If you have a question, ask it. Don't be afraid to ask questions. That's the key. If you don't know something, admit you don't know it. Trying to cover up the fact that you don't know something by trying to do something can also make something very, very much worse, almost to an expense on a production. Ask questions. If you don't know it, ask. It doesn't hurt to have the proper communication with the camera department. And part of my success has been the integration with the camera department. They understand that I'm looking out for them, and I understand that they're looking out for me. And it's that communication that makes it successful. Typically, if a shot's out of focus and it's very obvious, then I don't say anything because the first assistant knows. He's experienced enough to know that his distances weren't right and that he has to take a remeasurement.
I mean, I work a lot with the gaffer. I think the key grip is fantastic. Key grip has his own set of jobs. The thing, I mean, I work with Roberto Schaefer, and the relationship between Roberto, myself, the gaffer, and our key grip, which we're all there next to Roberto, like either at my cart or, we all, it's a shorthand, I'll be like, hey, well, I don't tell Roberto how to light, certainly, but sometimes if for separation reasons or like, how do you feel about this wall or what happens if we did that? The key grip, literally, I'll have scenarios where I'll be at the monitor and I haven't ventured out for a little bit and I'll see something and I'll go, how do you feel about that? And the DP will say, you know what I'm thinking we need to, and then boom, right? The key grip just comes in and just takes care of it. Like didn't even, like already was on its way, already happening. And so
I've worked with a lot of sort of incredible trades craftsmen in the business. And I was also a focus puller for many years. And when I'm working as a DIT now, if I see something that's not in focus, if it's a very small focus buzz, a lot of times in television we'll kind of let that go. If it's a gross violation of focus throughout a majority of the image, then we will address that I will mention this to the director of photography, and then he will go out and talk to the camera people. Sometimes I have a close enough relationship with the focus pullers where I will go out and talk to them in person, or we have surveillance headsets on, and I can whisper to him, oh, you're a little bit behind him, just pull the focus forward a little bit during the shot. So we can do self-correction during the shot so we don't have to do another take. That's very important in the television world where you might not get more than 2 or 3 takes on certain shots. So you are adjusting focus during the shot sort of live so we can take any problems and not have to do another take. The chain of command is very important on a film set because if you don't go to your superior and go above his head, if there's some type of problem on the set, you can alienate your boss in a way that makes him look less powerful, and that will not reflect very good upon you, which can lead to bigger problems sort of down the line. So it's very important to sort of know who your boss is, be very gentle if there's safety violations, if there's something happening on the set that's not going to result in a quality image. You have to be sort of gentle about how you approach it, understand who you're working with, and release the information properly so it gets addressed and gets corrected.
So with any sort of project, there's always a chain of command. So when I get the first card, and let's say, for instance, I see something and I'm like, this isn't going to work, there's color aberrations or whatever, or it's lit too dark for what they want, my first person to go to would be the second AC. So I go to the second AC and I'm like, okay, well, this is what's going on. Let me know when I can talk to the first, and then we'll get that on. So then the second AC will tell the first that I have an issue, and then I'll go and I'll talk to the first, and I'll be like, okay, well, so here's the issue. Are you guys aware of this? And if you're not aware of this, then we need to fix this. So if they are aware of it, then that's all fine and good, because there's a lot of times, there's certain things you can't fix as you're going through it. Like sometimes there's a reflection and you're on such a time constraint that the answer has already been, it's already been seen, and the answer is already, we'll fix it in post, which I hate those words, but sometimes that's the answer. But occasionally they don't see those things, or they don't realize that they're not getting the color that they need. So then we have to go to the DP and say, okay, well, here's the issue. We need to fix this. And if the DP can't fix it, then I go to a producer or whoever hired me. And then I let them know, here's the issue, this needs to be fixed. If at that point nothing is done about it, my job's done. Because I've already told the people who need to know, and if they're either not able to or not willing to fix it, it's out of my hands. Because you can only tell somebody so much before they need to act on it.
That's another thing, a couple gotchas. And this is really all comes from, I've done it in every way possible. I've had camera assistants that says, we want to handle everything, to guys that say, no, you handle everything, to let's have a healthy balance. I need mags. I'm going to be running away. You're going to be on the truck. Or